This is Seabreeze Bop City. Our project is a real-time, place-based 3D storytelling project situated in Seabreeze in coastal North Carolina. We are Land Rich, Franchon Francis, a Seabreeze community member, and we who are here with you today. We have worked with students and community members to produce LiDAR scans, 360 videos, and photogrammetry, recording oral histories, videos, and more. The following are several student group clips that provide a short intro to the project.
Can you hear?
Yep, you're good.
Yes.
Let me tell you about a place somewhere New York way, where the people are so gay, twisting the night away.
Seabreeze is extremely important for the Black community, and I'd say for the history of the United States. It's one of the few resort areas that was available to African American families during the Jim Crow years.
Black entertainers would come and be paid to go to downtown Wilmington and perform, but they had nowhere to stay. So they would be allowed to go in to perform, but then they had to leave, and where could they stay? So they came to Seabreeze.
Seabreeze is one of the few places that Black people could go during those times and enjoy themselves.
They had buses of people that came. Their bus would be coming and other cars coming to Seabreeze, came down this highway 14. People would be standing out there filming to get to Seabreeze.
They would bring people down here from the farms on the cattle truck, and they'd be looking through the boards, like that.
This road right here, it would take you 45 minutes to get from the beginning and get through here. That's how many people it would be.
As a little girl, I can remember going to Bop City, which people know is a part of Seabreeze, which is across the waterway.
Uncle Frank and Aunt Lula had a place over there. It was named Monte Carlo by the Sea, and the people would party over there.
And there was, like a deck, a pavilion that was covered, and there was a piccolo, and there was music. Everybody would be dancing, and I'm telling you, the pier would be moving.
Maybe 25, 30 juke junks playing at the same time. You hear one song from this building, another from this building, and they were all coming, so you were almost a constant music head, I guess.
Seabreeze is all about entertainment, dancing, and the people were dancing, and she said they were doing the bebop, and so that's how Bop City got its name.
Unfortunately, the Hurricane Hazel came along, did a lot of destruction, and it was hard to recuperate.
What happened to the buildings at Seabreeze was the storms?
There were 2 storms, actually, and they were able to be rebuilt once, and then they were not the second time.
Most of the people didn't have insurance, and so they weren't able to build it back. And that's pretty much where we are now. Things just sort of became dilapidated because there was not the ability to continue to manage some of the properties that had been owned by African Americans.
We appreciated it, and just unfortunately, we weren't able to maintain it to the point where, we hold on to it.
And the storms keep happening. You see, the story of Seabreeze is about land loss and the power of rising waters, hurricanes, and floods made frequent by climate change and infrastructural failures. But the story of Seabreeze is also about resilience and hope in the face of a changing landscape where water is one of the main agents of change. I grew up vacationing on nearby Atlantic Beach, like Seabreeze, a segregated landmass affectionately known as the Black Beach. We shucked oysters and hammered crabs along the edges of a bonfire. Some took issue with seeing Black people joyous in the water. One toe dip in that water could cause, say, a hotel to drain it. As Dorothy Dandridge, the first African-American actor to be nominated for Best Actress, experienced when she dipped her toe in a Las Vegas hotel swimming pool in 1953. The history of Seabreeze Bop City is Black leisure, pleasure, and vacationing, all intertwined with the instability of climate change, heirs property, and the complicated history of African Americans owning land and businesses, holding on to them, and passing them down from generation to generation.
And we're using real-time 3D technology with Seabreeze Bop City to illuminate the lived experiences of what once was a vibrant space for communal interaction through music, dance, food, and laughter that is created with the present and current intergenerational habitants in hopes to co-create the future. With real-time 3D in Seabreeze, we can work non-linearly to collapse histories, presents, and futures into an aesthetic language. It allows us to work collaboratively and iteratively, world building with the community. We can combine languages of documentary and fiction of what might be taking oral histories and hoping to create a real-time archive or repository. We can connect with architecture and the built environment about what could be built or realized. And we can use data. We can be generative, and we can use geolocation. And it may enable us to create a piece of media that may shape policy.
So after a week of workshops here, we've landed on a couple of questions for today. One, how can we use real-time 3D to extend our time horizon and to imagine preferable land, water, and economic futures in an area increasingly vulnerable to sea level rise, hurricanes, and floods? And how can we effectively co-create these futures with data, story, and the deep involvement of the Seabreeze community in a way that uses its situated knowledge, including its history of navigating on and around the water, to maintain a connection to the past while confronting a future marked by the relentless rise of the Atlantic Ocean?